elimination. Takada, Veno's team kind of trailing a little bit behind everybody else, but they were approaching from that dead side. Not so sure it's gonna stay that way, but for the time being, another trio like Thomas's, they're just willing to try and take over what they can.
Yeah, I mean, here they're literally just building out into the edge of zone, because if it does pull back towards them, pull back to this snowy mountain, they will be in prime position with this elevation, so they're kind of banking on that happening. And it's also a great position to get those tags. Now, if it goes far, they'll still have a decent rotate. That's the good part about being elevated, but hopefully, you know, they'll pull it towards them. And so far, those teams that are on the water, the kind of staggered ones, Alahalo was a solo, obviously, it's just kind of getting picked on by the rest of the lobby.
It's a vicious cycle, but unfortunately for some of these teams, if you just get caught one step too far behind, it's always going to be difficult to actually work your way up that elevation. Above currently, but Veno, Vico, Flixie, Marius' team, just a couple opponents that are located slightly below where Uppel, Thomas, and Panzer currently sit. And Thomas trying to do what he can, but this team is clearly feeling pressured to try and get some surge. Queasy wanted to heal, but Queasy's not going to get that opportunity. That is a huge blow from Thomas's team. They want to try and get the finish, but Swizzy, Merstache just holding their cones, refusing to let Queasy go down just yet. Still, they find a separate elimination entirely elsewhere. But Queasy surviving through all of that is crazy.
This is a huge zone pull for them, too. They can literally go on top of those builds from Queasy, knowing he's been eliminated.
Oh, he got taken out.
Free height. Swizzy's gone down. This is perfect for Thomas HD, but terrible for Merstache now that he's left as a solo. Storm Surge taking in both teammates gone. He needs to basically get an elimination here with all odds against him.
Way too many factors against him. 210 below the damage threshold as a solo. Doesn't even have any shield potions, but he makes it work anyway. Merstache, big elimination onto Teeny, and that's the lifeline he needed. Now has an opportunity to find even more surge. He's still sitting just below, but talk about a clutch up. Merstache just fully online, or as much as he can be. Vico, Flixie, Veno have just creeped their way up onto this high ground, the Takada, and they're looking to possibly even make a connection towards the island if the zone permits.
This is interesting. I'm wondering, were they always on height on top of Thomas, or did they end up taking it? But either way, they're in prime position here. We'll see where it pulls, and it pulls, I mean, potentially around the island. They can conserve a lot of mats if they choose so. But Merstache, on the other hand, he's going to pop that chug. He's going to do what he can to tank a bit of Storm Surge, but he should find some options here on the rotate to do damage.
Oh, he's just going to play spoiler for Marius' team instead, catching him out. Melting away from Marius, nowhere left to run, but Merstache has done the impossible, it seems like. Now sitting only 4 above, he's still got quite a ways to go, and he's got to deal with the huge threat building in the low ground, all of this congestion, but Venya, Pixie, as a duo, it's going to be all that much more difficult to actually control the front side of low. They're trying to keep tabs on some of the build-up taking place behind them, but they want to move forward, and Akira could pay the price here. Pink, Nebs also in a duo position. Takada, everybody just losing their teammates along the way.
A lot of duos this time around. I do see 2 trios, though. Savage being one of them, as they got to be careful. The whole trio has been cracked. Luckily enough, not a single one has been knocked yet. Demus right beside them, knocking on their door. Full trio as well. As now the focus is, where's this zone gonna pull? Unfortunately for Vrico Venoflixi, not back to the island. It's going to pump power. As now these players have to rotate far. Going around the edge of the zone here can be crucial.
Thomas, though, content their current low ground position. They've got a little bit of frontside control. They're just trying to stay ahead, but they need a refresh. They're running so low on material. They can see all the